Well, thanks again for joining us, and I'm going to start off with an easy question, and then we'll get to the kind of the more leading edge stuff as we move through the course of the panel discussion. So, you know, I think if you'd been to any panel over the last couple of years, you would have heard people talking about fulfillment and delivery and buyer expectations and how are they changing in this world of kind of Amazon Prime and, you know, 2-day delivery and then next day delivery and then same day delivery and then hour slot, you know, being able to specify a specific time of day, and there's been a lot of change. So I guess my first question is, how do you expect buyer expectations to evolve this year around the delivery experience? And I'm going to ask Robert to start.
So we all think there's going to be drones delivering packages by the end of the year, and I don't know the rest of the panel what you guys think about that. But you know, you mentioned Amazon, and they have sort of set a tone. I think for fashion retailers, you have to think about your product and where it fits in that mix. So I think consumers don't have the same expectation for delivery of a case of toilet paper than they do for a fine scarf or a watch. So I think as a retailer, you have to think where you fit in that mix and understand your customers are intelligent enough to understand should they get it the next day or not. Some of the local delivery services that are popping up seem like it could be pretty interesting for fashion retailers, especially with brick and mortar presence. So being able to have a local company delivering that good from the brick and mortar to you that same day, in a more personal way than UPS. I think maybe we'll start seeing that happen. And there's some startups I think in San Francisco that are kind of trying to get into that space. So I could see that happening.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Well, Angela, do you have sort of experience from Oaklandish viewpoint? What do your buyers tend to kind of expect from you?
I mean, for our product offering, I mean, in light of what you were talking about, I don't think that there's a demand for same-day delivery or clamoring for drones. But I think people definitely are. There's a higher threshold now in terms of like really communicating about the order status and timeliness of that. So because they're so used to large retailers operating around the clock and operating their DCs around the clock, that if they're placing an order Friday night, they really do expect that they've had some sort of order status notification on Saturday or Sunday, because they're already freaking out Sunday afternoon saying, where's my order? I placed it Friday and you guys haven't told me that it shipped. Right. Because with these other companies, they've created a shipping label even though the thing hasn't moved, but there's the illusion of it having moved.
And it's on the way, yeah.
So,
and so how do you address that within Oaklandish?
So we're just trying to set part of it is setting expectations and just letting people know that they're like, even though USPS now calls certain things close by 1-day delivery for priority mail, that does not mean that you are going to get it tomorrow. Yeah. But of course, people don't read, so that only helps so much. So.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. I think communication, setting expectations is key. But you're right, and I think everyone has experienced this, that you can put it front and center on your website and put it in emails, and you can kind of repeat the same message, but getting it absorbed and understood by the buyer is sometimes the hard bit. So over communication, I guess, is key, and as Robert, to your point, understanding what the buyer expectation is likely to be for the type of product you're selling.